name is Sherman Webb Middlebrooks. I'm a lifelong Buffalo resident, full-time black man. Currently, I work for Gateway Longview doing case management, working with young people who are transitioning in and out of the foster care system, really helping them engage with the services that are available to them in the community, but also helping them develop some skills so that way they can live independently on their own. In addition to that, I founded the WIN Initiative based off of a grant from Open Society Foundation with the help of Open Buffalo. And the WIN Initiative stands for We're Improving Now. The idea behind that pretty much is no matter what space or place we're in, we're always trying to improve the people in the situation and their environment. And so we do that by capturing and amplifying youth and community voices with a particular focus on youth and communities of color. So I've had the privilege and the honor of being a dad to a beautiful baby girl named Mahogany Luce. She's 4, and I've been with her mother since we were teenagers, so going on about 10 years. Yeah, so we've kind of grown together and kind of started this family and this journey together. It's been fun. So my relationship with my little monster is pretty unique. I've never really was one for like the goo goo gaga. I always was kind of like, I want to raise my best friend. But really I've always had like the idea and the intention to really raise a strong, responsible, independent woman. And that's really been my goal since day one, since she was born. So that's really been like my relationship with her, just really pouring in as much knowledge, wisdom and care as I can with her. But also just being her best friend. I think that that's important too, that we have that relationship where she knows like I'm the fun parent, but also like I'm the one that you can ask all your questions to and talk to. So really I would say it was during the time where I got the fellowship to start the WIN Initiative. One of my mentors, Pastor Tommy, I was looking for opportunities to get involved in the community with the WIN Initiative. And Tommy was like, hey, we're doing this Nurturing Fathers training. If you're interested, come on down. And so one of the things about me is I trust the people who are placed in my life to help guide me. And Tommy is one of those people. So if he said show up to somewhere, I showed up. And it really kind of went from there. I valued the information that was being presented. Being a young dad, I realized that when I left the hospital with my daughter, they didn't give me a guidebook or a strategy guide on how to really do this. And so it seemed like this was the only place where I was getting some knowledge and a sense of direction, some feedback as far as the things that I'm doing, whether they're effective, and things that I can improve on. So just getting that advice and sharing that space is awesome for me. So that's kind of how it started. So the thing that I'm learning the most, I would say, about my community, and especially about the men in my community, is that we need spaces where we can feel heard. A lot of times, especially when we're facilitating, we have like topics that we want to cover, and maybe we have a PowerPoint that we want to get to, but sometimes the most important thing in that moment is just to create a space for the brothers to feel heard, for them to breathe, for them to be able to share some of the struggles that they went through, but also be able to create the space where we can celebrate them overcoming some of the challenges that they face too, because not often do the men get an attaboy or a pat on the back. So just being able to create that fraternity of fathers like we're trying to do, I think we're filling a much needed void in the community. So that's the one thing that I've realized, that we need more spaces where men can come together and be heard. And I think the thing that I'm learning about myself is that every day is a new opportunity to, when I'm frustrated and when I'm in these moments that are challenging, it's a new opportunity to practice these skills that we're learning as facilitators. And that's I think is the greatest opportunity. It's giving me that moment to pause and recognize this is an opportunity to practice these skills. I think fatherhood is important for the simple fact that we don't get a lot of recognition I think fatherhood is important because you can't have life without mother and a father. Is that so? We're equal parts, right? And I don't think we get our just due. I don't think we're invited into spaces, and I don't think the system and society has been structured and set up in a way for men to effectively engage. I think they kind of have us typecast in this role where we're supposed to protect and provide, and that whole nurturing aspect has really been sort of left to like the women in the family. But really in our developed society, I think we have women who are protecting and providing, and I think we have men who are doing a great job of nurturing. So I think we're all sharing roles, and I think the fact that like we have a fraternity of fathers who are really lifting up the fact that like we're nurturing in addition to protecting and providing, I think is key. So I think just highlighting that and creating more opportunities to create these spaces throughout the city and throughout the country is truly imperative. So that's why I think fatherhood is truly important. I work in the system, unfortunately, with young people who don't have their parents for whatever reason, whether their parents literally signed off their rights, because that's happened. I don't want to be your parent. Right, and that's heartbreaking. And sometimes parents have their own struggles and challenges that they haven't had the chance to overcome yet, and they're dealing with, and their young people have to suffer the consequences of that. So I see what happens when the kids don't have mommy, especially don't have daddy, and they end up in the system and the traumas that they experience and the challenges that they go through. And unfortunately, it's the reason why I'm employed. So I feel like if we had more fathers and more mothers, I will be able to achieve my goal of working myself out of a job. Wow. So I would definitely say the first thing is like these little ones didn't ask to be here. So it's our responsibility to take care of them once we bring them here. And also one of the initial concepts we talk about in the Nurturing Fathers program is the little boy within, right? So I would definitely encourage them to tap back into the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions that they've experienced when they were a little kid, and what kind of father or male role model or uncle or whatever role you're playing that they wish they had in that period of time, and then be that person for them. I think that's what should encourage a lot of dads, because a lot of dads get discouraged because they didn't have a model, or they feel like they don't know how to, or they don't have the resources to necessarily meet their responsibilities. So I think that if they just tried to really envision what they wanted and needed at that point in time, and then do their best every day to take a step towards being that person, they would kind of see day by day the progress that they're making as to becoming a better father and becoming a better man.